Good afternoon. I am a couple minutes early. We are testing out some new software here. So I am just going to make sure that everything is actually broadcasting because I don't trust anything now. Hi, Joan. Okay, so hello. Hi. All right, so I am clearly live, which is wonderful. There I am right there. Fantastic. So I have been having some trouble earlier this week. Facebook Live, well, I guess last week, Facebook changed their live producer from old one to the new one. I kept using the old one. Hi, Tina. I kept using the old one, and then on Tuesday, it stopped showing me comments. So I was like talking to myself all the time. And then I would finish the live broadcast and find out there was all these comments from where people were talking to me, but I couldn't see it. So I said, fine, I will use the new broadcast studio. But then when I use the new broadcast studio, I can't tell if anyone has joined the live. I can't see who has joined the live. And I can see some comments, but only like a third of them show up. So I decided we were going to bypass Facebook. I'm broadcasting this through a different program that goes into Facebook. And now I can see up here, I have all of the people that are watching live. I can see the people who have done some thumbs up. And over here, I can see some Facebook posts and comments, so I can actually see some things. So a couple of things. I think there's a little instruction thing that says that you have to go to StreamYard in order for your name and profile to show up in the comments on my end. So like Joan and Tina, I can both see that you said hi. And then we have some other highs and hi Susies that just shows up on my side as Facebook user. So that's okay. That's no problem. But if I respond to a question or something and I don't say you by name, it's because I don't know who it is. But so far, I think this is working better. So we are going to get started. We're going to do a 30-minute class today. It is going to be a heart-opening class. And I actually just recalled I need to add a little a playlist for you. So if you have Spotify, I'm going to go in, find the stream myself, and add a comment. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Joanne. See, now I'm on Facebook. I can see. So a Spotify playlist. So if you want to have some yoga music, you can use this playlist. I just added it in the comments. You don't need to use that playlist. You can use whatever you want, or you can use nothing at all. It's just whatever you like. So I am going to start some music because I do like to have a little bit of tunes while I'm doing yoga. And the nice thing about yoga is you can use any music at all. It's completely up to you. So we are going to go down and we're going to have a seat on our mat. Once I get my music playing for me here. Oh, I turned the sound down. That's why I didn't hear anything. Okay, so we're going to start in a seated position today. Just sitting comfortably, whatever that looks like for you. And we're going to do a few shoulder rolls. I turned that up too loud. So we're going to do a few shoulder rolls to begin. So I have my yoga mat. I also have a couple of yoga blocks. If you have yoga blocks, you can go ahead and grab those. If you don't, a book, anything sturdy that you can put some weight on will do. I'm going to bring one hand down, reach up and over. And to the other side. And we're just going to do a little short flowing warm up. We are going to be focusing on some heart openers today. So doing a lot of chest opening poses. And if you are someone who tends to hold their heart really close, you may find that these are a little bit uncomfortable for you. It's pretty normal. This next time we're going to hold. My assistants are both upstairs napping right now, but I'm sure that when Rose realizes I've left, she'll come running down. Other side, or holding. Coming back up nice and tall. Deep breath in. We're going to exhale, turn, look over shoulder. You're going to keep your hand on that knee. As you come back to the front, you're going to reach your other arm across. We're just going to rock back and forth a little bit. I'm really cold today, probably because I haven't had any coffee yet. It's technically warmer out than it has been the last few days, I think. But the rain makes it seem colder, in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to come back up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, look over the opposite shoulder. Keeping that hand on your knee, reaching the opposite arm around, and again, just rocking a little bit side to side. And then we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees, little cat and cow. So hands right under shoulders, shoulder width apart, knees under hips, hip width apart. We're going to exhale as we arch our back up, dropping through our chin, dropping through our tailbone. Then inhale as we lift, looking up towards the ceiling. Oh my goodness. So on Monday, I've talked about this a number of times in different videos. I did a workout with my home workout program people that I have been doing for over a year. Anyway, we started a whole new set of workouts this week. My abs have been sore since Monday. I don't even know what we did to make them so sore. I mean, I created the workout. I think it was the deadlifts, actually. One more time. And then coming back to neutral, we're going to go into a spinal balance, reaching the opposite arm and leg out. Lowering down, and then other side. Now I am going to make you work a little bit here before we can get into our heart openers, because we have to make sure that we have our muscles nice and warm so that they'll be a little bit more agreeable to being stretched. So we'll do a couple more spinal balances. And then we're going to sink back into child's pose for a moment. This is clearly not the work portion. Resting our forehead on stacked hands, stacked fists, your mat, or you can grab a yoga block. Fine with this microphone on, I have to keep my head higher so that I don't smash it right into the floor. The microphone, I mean, not my head. So just a couple more breaths here. And then on the next inhale, we're going to come forward into a kneeling plank. Exhale, sink back, child's pose. Inhaling forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, sinking back. Now we're going to start to add on that work. So we're going to come forward, kneeling plank, teeny tiny baby tricep push-up, baby chaturanga, back to child's pose. So you're really just bending those arms enough to feel the weight in your arms, and then sitting right back. And then if you want, you can go all the way down. Suddenly I get concerned as when I hit my head on those weights. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Just do two more, whatever version works for you, so you can stay right here. Last one. And sinking back to child's pose. Then on our next inhale, so I have to do some clothing adjustments here. We're going to come in to downward facing dog, tucking our toes, pressing our hips up and back, taking a moment to walk our feet in place. Fingers are spread nice and wide. So we're bending one knee as we press the opposite heel towards the floor and then switching sides. And then slowly walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming into a forward fold, letting your arms and head hang heavy, gently shaking your head no, gently nodding your head yes. Inhale to prepare as we exhale, coming all the way up to standing. Hands coming down to heart center, relaxing your shoulders, closing your eyes, pressing your thumbs into your sternum as we take a moment to notice our breath. Hopefully noticing that maybe our heart's beating a little bit faster. We're feeling a little bit warmer than when we started. This is a good time too, if, like me, you realize that you're still wearing socks and you want to discard those. You can leave your socks on though, if you're good with them. As we open our eyes, we're going to step back into warrior one. So my foot's at about a 45-degree angle, squaring my shoulders off to the front of my mat. Hands stay together at center or extend. If you have any neck or shoulder issues, keeping your hands lower is going to be more beneficial for you. And we're going to start just by straightening and rebending the knee. We're going to do that 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to get ready for our very first heart opener. We're going to come into humble warrior. So we're going to reach our arms back, either reaching energetically through our fingers, maybe grabbing onto a block to hold either end of the block, or if it's okay for you, lacing your fingers together. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bring our shoulder towards the inside of that knee, reaching through your fingertips, whatever version you're in. Keeping your head lifted. Don't just let your head hang like it's broken right off. You can't get quite as low. I got that mic pack right on my hip. I need to bend. That wasn't well thought of. Inhaling back up, we're going to open up into warrior two. It's going to be a bit more of a gentle heart opener. But we're going to turn that front palm up, reach forward, then reach back, getting into our side body. Inhaling back up to warrior two, turning our toes to the front. You don't need to move your microphone, but I will move mine. We're going to inhale up, and as we exhale, coming forward into a standing straddle. So here again, if the floor seems a little far away, you can use a yoga block. But if you're good coming down to the floor or even onto your forearms, it's all right. You just do what works for you. This time you can let your head hang. If you are onto your forearms, go ahead and come back up onto your hands. We're going to bend through the knees, using our hands to help us if we need to. Come all the way up to standing, and we're going to just turn, coming into warrior one on the opposite leg. Front knee is bent, arms are extended, or together at center. We're going to bend and straighten 5 times. And then moving into our humble warrior, reaching our arms back, reaching energetically through your fingertips, or lacing your fingertips, or holding a block between your hands. We inhale, and as we exhale, coming forward towards the inside of that knee. Front knee is still bent. Continue reaching through your fingertips, trying to open up through your collarbones. One more deep breath in. And as we exhale, coming back up to standing, reaching your arms up, opening up, warrior two. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Taking a couple breaths here. We should all be nice and warm now so we can get into some good heart openers. And we're going to be a little bit tricky. We're going to pivot on that back foot. So we bring our hands down to our mat. Stepping back to down dog. Lowering down to our knees. Taking a moment in child's pose. So we're going to start pretty small here. From child's pose, we're going to lower right down onto our abdomen. Move my block so it's not in the way. And we're going to come up just into Sphinx to begin. So coming onto our forearms, inhale, and as we exhale, pressing up, creating as much space between our ears and our shoulders as possible. Feet are just relaxed, looking forward or forward on the floor. So this is a small back bend. You're probably going to feel this in your low back especially, but we want to make sure that we're warming up our low back before we get into those big heart openers, because they require some flexibility through our spine. All right, let's slowly lower down, stacking our fists or grabbing a yoga block to rest our forehead on. Just giving our low back a chance to recover. All right, we're going to do that one again. Same thing. So on our forearms, elbows are back from my shoulders a little bit. Inhale, as I exhale, press up, and then you may need to walk your hands a bit forward. If you find that this is way too compressive on your low back, keep walking your hands further forward, and it's going to create less of that back bend. It'll be less compressive for your low back. I really could benefit from more room. All right, lowering down once again, and we've got one more warm-up pose to do. These are still acting as heart openers, chest openers to a certain degree. This time our option is going to be to come up into seal. So if you want to come into seal, you're going to bring your feet a little bit further apart, so they're sort of along the edge of your yoga mat. And this time you're going to stay on your hands. So you're going to reach your arms out a little bit like you were making a Y shape, but my arms aren't fully outstretched. And as I come up, I'm going to come up a little bit higher. If this is too much for your back, you're just going to ease right back down onto your forearms. So we're not in up dog because our low body is still resting on the mat, but it's a little bit more of a back bend than down here in Sphinx. And then we'll gently lower down, take a moment's pause, and then we're going to press back to child's pose. We're going to come onto all fours. If you have a thin mat and you want a little extra cushion for your knee, either grab a pillow off of your couch, or you can fold your mat up a little bit to give yourself a few extra layers of cushion for your knees. I'm used to doing this without any mat at all, so I'm okay. We're going to step 1 foot forward, and we're going to ease in and out a few times of a runner's lunge. My back foot is relaxed, but if you're more comfortable with your foot flexed, you can do that. I'll tell you one thing. If we're going to be doing this whole thing until the middle of the summer, I'm going to have to get a full-on wireless mic, because this pack, I don't know if you can see that antenna. I am petrified that I'm going to tear that off in the middle of a yoga class. All right, this time we're going to hold the position, hanging out right here. Already we're thinking about opening through our chest, but we're going to start to reach our fingertips back. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we think about our low back and start to look up a little bit higher towards the ceiling or a little higher on the wall. Again, if it's your knee that's taking the brunt of the pain here, you're going to want to put something underneath of it to make it more comfortable. Keep your shoulders down, jaw relaxed. A couple more breaths. Getting that nice stretch through our hip flexor at the same time. And then slowly come back down. We're going to take a moment's pause on all fours. I want you to remember which leg was in front so that you don't do the same side the second time. We're going to do a few cat and cow. The trick with heart openers, chest openers, is you have to keep stopping and making sure that you're not making your back cranky. Coming back to neutral, and then we'll step that opposite foot forward. Same thing, we're going to ease in and out of this a few times. Even though our primary focus is heart openers, we still want to make sure that we're taking care of everything else. And in order to get that heart opener, we're going to have to be deep into this hip flexor stretch. So let's hold this time. Again, starting to reach energetically through those fingertips or bringing your fingers together, lacing your fingers together. Here, I prefer to keep mine apart. Inhale. And as we exhale, thinking about that low back, starting to look up, opening between the collarbones. Remembering to breathe. One more nice deep breath in. On the exhale, slowly coming back, making our way onto all fours. Cat and cow. And one more cat and cow. And then we're going to lower right back down onto our abdomen. We're going to do a few more big heart opening, chest opening poses. The first one we're going to do is half bow. I prefer half bow over full because I find it's a lot more accessible for people. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one forearm and place it in front of your hand, or in front of your body rather. The opposite arm is going to reach back by your side. That same foot or this leg on that side is going to flex. Notice that my foot is flexed. I'm going to inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to press on that forearm. I'm going to reach up and try to grab the ankle. I'm going to keep pressing up. So really opening through one side of our chest especially. We'll do the other side in a second. And very gently relax your leg, relax your hand, stack your fists or your hands, and take a pause. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring the opposite forearm in front. Other hand reaches down by our side. That foot is going to flex as the knee bends at the knee. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to press into the forearm, reaching up. And then continuing to press as we start to look up, opening through the shoulder. So the interesting thing is I can do this half bow on either side just fine, but anytime I practice full bow, I immediately get a cramp. So that's why I like to stick to half bow. So if that happens to me, I feel like it happens to a lot of people. So let's slowly relax the leg, release the leg, take your time, lower down. Taking a couple breaths here on our belly. And then, when you're ready, pressing back to child's pose, giving your low back a nice stretch. You can probably feel this in your low back. I certainly can. So we have to be really careful to take care of our back. We've got one last chest opener to do. And then hang out here for a couple more breaths. And then make our way back down onto our bellies. I'm going to finish with locusts. So if you're familiar with locusts, I might teach it slightly different than what you're used to. I'm going to bring our arms back by our sides, palms facing up. You're going to squeeze your thighs to lift your kneecaps up off of the floor. We're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to float our feet, reaching our arms back, squeezing between our shoulder blades. So thinking again about opening between the collarbones. It's hard to talk in this position. And slowly relax down. Same thing, taking a moment here, lying flat, and then when you're ready, pressing back to child's pose. And then we're going to make our way down to lying on our mats. Because we did so much work that requires compression through our low back, we're going to do a few stretches to help try and release that a bit more if I can get my cords organized. So we're just going to do knees to chest to start. Exhale, draw one knee in, hand comes behind the thigh, not on top of the knee, and extend. One more, and then next time we're going to bring both knees in together, hands coming behind the knee joint, gently rocking a little side to side. Or drawing an oval shape in the air with your kneecaps. Or if you're doing that little oval shape, make sure you go both directions. Now we're going to release our feet down to the mat. We're going to walk our feet a little bit further away so that we can get into that wonderful constructive rest position where our psoas muscle is resting. And here you can choose to close your eyes if you like. Let's spend our last couple minutes together. Final relaxation, Shavasana. But starting out with this constructive rest. So while we're hanging out here, I'll just tell you a little bit. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'll be teaching a tension release class in the Town of Kempel event. And I'll try to remember to share it here before I start. It's going to be a 1-hour class, and it's all going to be focused on releasing tension through our joints and especially through our low body, through our hips and glutes. And then we'll do well, it's not mine, but the psoas release at the end of class, which can really help release a lot of tension. And it can help us work through some stuff if we have some stuff, quote unquote stuff that needs dealing with that maybe we don't feel like talking about. Sometimes we can release that tension through movement and never have to talk about it. It's a big component of being a trauma-informed yoga instructor, is knowing how you can use yoga and movement to help people release stress, anxiety, and tension without them having to actually tell you what they're stressed or have anxiety about. So now I'll invite you to either stay here in constructive rest or go ahead and extend your legs into traditional Shavasana. Maybe you prefer reclining butterfly. Maybe you like legs up the wall, sleeping crocodile. Lots of different options. Just find what works for you. And relax. Take one more nice deep breath in together. And as we exhale, start to let our eyes flutter open. Give yourself time, but we're going to slowly make our way up into a seated position. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Deep breath in. And exhale, one more time. The light in me honors and respects the light in you, and we seal our practice with Namaste. So 2 things. I told you the first thing. I feel like I'm playing charades. 2 things. First thing, that tension release class is going to be from 1 until 2 Atlantic. If you're not watching from Nova Scotia, it's Atlantic. I will share the link. Also, tomorrow at 3, I'll be back here in the Facebook group with a trigger point release class. Oh, I don't have any of my stuff down here. All you need is a couple tennis balls. I have some fancy trigger point. I have loads of fancy trigger point release tools, but all you need is a couple tennis balls and a sock. So if you can scrounge up some tennis balls, you can join me. You can still join even if you're not doing it and just entertain me. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I'm glad Joan, bleh, I can't talk. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully either for yoga or trigger point or maybe both because they're both free. I will share the links for the yoga after I get off here. So have a good afternoon and I will see you tomorrow. You're welcome. Bye.